Advocates of a perhaps more robust economic climate in Montgomery County say it brings many benefits, among them relief on reliance on the property tax, on property tax revenues from homeowners. It can mean shorter commutes because you don't have as many people going to jobs in the District of Columbia or Tyson's Corner or wherever. And you have potentially fewer people crowding onto Interstate 270, the Beltway, and Metro. Do county leaders need to do a better job educating the public about the benefits of investing and pursuing private sector enterprise? George Leventhal.
We live in a beautiful, well-resourced, blessed community with extraordinary geographic advantages, access to 3 excellent airports, excellent higher education, K through 12 systems. I really hope that after the election's over, we will shake off this funk and recognize that we are very blessed to live here. We have a great story to tell. Yes, we need to increase jobs and investment. That's not a particularly original insight. Of course, we need to rely on a more growing, healthy commercial tax base to alleviate the pressure on individual homeowners. That's not a very original insight. How do we do it? I don't think anyone in this room has the secret sauce. When I met with Sidney Kramer recently, the most pro-business county executive in the county's history, he said what local government can do is provide excellent services, superb schools, excellent police protection, and then business will want to be here. Now, I think there's more that we should do. I do think we have to have an economic development strategy. I do think the county executive has to be personally involved in a hands-on way. But this sense, now, let me tell you this, you will never hear me say that our business climate is horrible or that this is a bad place to invest, which 2 gentlemen have said here now. That's not the way to market this county. This is a great county. I'm proud to be from Montgomery County. And you will hear me emphatically and repeatedly accentuate the positive. That's how you sell something. Here's the thing. If somebody gets elected, one of the people on this stage, after having trashed our business climate and said this is a bad place to invest, then they have to own it. Things are not going to change the next day because someone is sitting on the second floor of the executive office building. And the press pays attention. And when you have the leading elected official in this county saying this is a terrible place to invest, frankly, I'm offended. I think this is a great place to invest, and we need to do a better job of selling our excellent qualities and attributes.
Rose Krasnow.
Well, I won't have to own it. We'll have to own it because Mr. Basu laid it out for us that we're not making up stories about the climate and what we're facing now from an economic development standpoint. Mr. Leventhal just said we need great schools. He pointed out all these, we need great police, we need all these things. Well, we also can't keep the high quality that we have if we don't have a way to pay for them. It truly is what concerns me. So we want to be this county we all are proud of. When I was the mayor of Rockville, that's what I was able to do. Talk to people in the city of Rockville. They gathered around because it's not talking about what we have now, it's where we want to be. How can we get there? I did a visioning exercise. I want to do it with our small businesses. How can we get from the current problems that we know are here back to a place that shines throughout the country as a leader in innovation and research and capitalizing on the talent pool we have here? It can be done, but not if we pretend that there are no problems.
Delegate Frick.
Yeah, picking up on that last point, respectfully, Councilmember Leventhal, you can't put your head in the sand about this. We just had a PhD tell us how bad it is right now, all right? We need to own it. We need to be frank about it, and we need to be determined to change it. I tell you, I look at this audience, I know a lot of y'all, and I've spent a lot of time with people in this room. I look at almost every row, and I have had conversations with people in almost every row and every section about the challenges of our business climate and our need to change our culture. Gosh, I don't know how many buttered oatmeals Larry Shulman and I have had to put down talking about this challenge. But talk isn't going to change it. Politics, this election is how we change it. We need All of us moderates, we're great at complaining. We're great at talking to each other about how things should be different. We can't just expect them to be different because they should be. We need them to be different because we're going to go out and make them be different. This is the election. This election's about the future. Which future do you want? One where we double down on the past, where we pretend we can't have progressive values and a good private sector, or a future where both are thriving, where we have our values and a thriving public sector, and all of us are going to have to get outside our comfort zones. We might have to, as we said at the top, you might have to register as a Democrat. You might have to donate to Democrats, and you might have to tell people you've known a long time, I respect you, you're great, I'm not going to be with you. You need to get behind a candidate this election, not in November, not in June, today, behind someone who can win and change this culture in this county.
Councilman Elrich.
So I'll go back to something I started before, talking about bus rapid transit. When I got on the council, the other thing we were faced with was failing projects because you couldn't develop in the county. You couldn't develop in the county because congestion, as everybody agrees, has gotten out of hand. So why did I come up with the idea of developing bus rapid transit? One of the late members of the Lindos and Blocker firm asked me in a chamber meeting in more crude language, he said, why are you doing this? They said, our guys looked at this and think it's a good idea. Why are you doing it? And I said, let's be blunt about this. I need to figure out how we're going to grow in the county. If I shut everything down, which good traffic tests would do, we go nowhere. So is there a solution? And I spent a lot of time looking for a solution. And what I found was if we provide transit, I can take people off the road. If I take cars off the road, I create space for new development. This is me talking. I looked at this and I said, the way to move forward is to create the space so you can put things up that don't put the system into gridlock that cause us to fail projects. That was my idea. I looked at the maps of where development was going to be in Montgomery County, and I laid out those routes so that we could support the future development of Montgomery County. And if something comes to White Flint that is not named, it's sitting in a place where there are 3 or 4 transit lines that are already in the master plans that will serve it and make it possible. So it's not like I don't think about this. I want this county to grow. And I got to say, if you're going to trash this place, I hope Amazon's not listening.
Yeah, right.
Councilman Berliner.
So some of you may not know that I was a small businessman for far longer than I've served in public life. It is part of my DNA. It is why I created the Small Business Navigator in our county to make sure that we help small business, and our Small Business Navigator is here, and she does an excellent job, by the way. We created the Business Solution Group. That was also my legislation because I felt we need to own, that we need to take care of our business community. That is a constituent service effort. 4 years before we moved forward with the Economic Development Corporation, I proposed working with our chambers in Annapolis. The county executive wasn't ready for that, but we do now. We basically said to ourselves, .com does business development better than .gov, and so we created the Economic Development Corporation. We need metrics from the Economic Development Corporation. We need accountability from the Economic Development Corporation, just like we need metrics and accountability for every part of county government. And so all of us need to work together to create a more vibrant economy. It is why the very first piece I published was on creating greater shared prosperity. I have 150 copies out there. I urge you to pick it up, because if I have the privilege of serving as your county executive, it is my number one priority. It is what I will spend the most time on every day, because there is nothing more important than growing our economy. I was all in on the Amazon bid. It is a great opportunity, but it is not a strategy. We will have a strategy going forward.
Mr. Blair.
We had a saying in my company, don't confuse activity with progress. And I think we've heard about a lot of activity with our county officials, but as we saw, there was little progress, actually no progress made as far as economic development. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trashing the business community. I think we have a wonderfully talented, diverse business group here. My wife and I love Montgomery County. It's the reason I'm running for county executive. I'm running because I'm not satisfied. I see the county where it is and where it ought to be. We're just not reaching our potential. And I say that because whether it's some of the worst traffic in the country, a cost of living that's going up faster than many of us can afford, our schools are slipping, right? We're so proud about our schools. Well, there's a lot of schools that are starting to underperform. We don't lack for ideas in this county. We've got great ideas. We've got great programs. What we lack is vision, leadership, and funding. And that's why I think I'm the right guy for this job at this time. Because I've got a plan to lead, I've got a vision, I know how to pay for it. Right? I've created the jobs. I know how to turn this economy around. And as past performance is the best indicator for what you're going to see in the future, my guess is if you elect the same people, you're going to have the same problems. And so I respectfully ask for your vote on June 26th so we can move the county forward. Thank you.